This is for DB14. Here I've got the program, the main. And so here's the string CS to connect for the database. And then a little further down, I've got the prompt for the users to prompt a username, and then it acts to prompt a password. And then here I've got where it opens the connection for MySQL. So this is where the connection begins. And then the my user is for the objects, for the new user objects. And then this is for the methods, for the login, save, and then display. And then here, this is my user class. I've got the public user, so this will be able to show all the user ID, first name, last name, username, password encrypted, date of birth, gender, and occupation ID. And then the public void login, this string statement will select the username, first name, last name, password encrypted, user ID, etc. And that will select everything from MySQL. And then I use this if statement. So if the user enters in the correct username and password, it will pull all that information up from MySQL. And then if they don't enter in anything correctly or enter in blank, it will prompt them to create a new user. So you got to enter username, password, first name, last name, gender, and occupation ID, and date of birth. And then here, lastly, is the public void display, and then the public void save. So again, this will be able to save everything that the user entered in to MySQL. So like here, this is a string statement. So it's saying enter into users for user ID, first name, last name, username, password, date of birth, gender, and occupation ID. And at the bottom here of my main, I've got my comments explaining what I did to fix my issues and what I got back from the feedback. So let's go and debug. Now I really struggled with this assignment here because I couldn't get anything to display, which you'll see here in a second. Let's see if for instance, if I enter anything that's correct. So if I do I've got login successful, and it pulls up the user ID, first name, last name, username, the password encrypted, date of birth, gender, and occupation ID. But when I don't enter in anything, I've got to create a new user. All it does is it pulls up a new user ID. And then when I copy this, it doesn't save anything in there. But this is the project that I really struggled with.